Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Heavenwards. Well, somewhat Heavenwards. We are playing Machinist, but we are still under level 50, meaning I can't actually start doing the Heavenwards quests with Machinist, so I have to level it up. We're quite close to level 41, but we're not, which means, dude, support-wise, we're doing Cut's Cry. Damn it. Although we probably will hit 41 on the first boss, it's just that it will take a moment to get there, so, well. And some might be thinking, Chris, you played this yesterday, you have other games that you say you want to play. Yeah, and I'm in a 14 mood. I'm in the mood to play Final Fantasy XIV specifically. Continuously. I did exactly what I said yesterday. I took a break. That break ended up also including me trying to sleep, and let's just say my sleep for some reason was continuously interrupted. And say nothing more on that matter, because but yay, woo, Cut's Cry. To be fair, this is my second time doing this in ever? No, wait, no. I've definitely done Cut's Cry at one. Some character that's possibly lost to time? Most likely? I actually don't remember where the character I played One back on the PS3 with is, and I'm assuming it's because this is a different account, so I need to remember the details. Because I have that lovely paperweight on my shelf continuously staring at me, and I'm just like, we're not supported. I can't use you. You are just a paperweight. Could be worse. I could use it as a place to store drinks on top of. But anyway, you know what? This month of at least Summer Cut's Cry isn't going to be all too bad. We do now have the Look Auto Turret with us while we're doing this, and we don't get any skills again via quests till 50, I think. But we do get Wildfire while going through the leveling, so that'll be fun to have, somewhat. Ooh, pardon me. Part of me was thinking of wearing my sunglasses because it is quite bright out today compared to yesterday. Yesterday it was actually a bit grey, and it was just like, oh, neat. But I then see the reflection on the webcam, and I'm just like, I think I prefer like a small bit of a reflection, because that means that these glasses that I'm wearing are doing its job, but not like full blown, oh look, it's my entire computer screen. Can I reassemble with this? Okay, cool. Alright, so as per usual, I'm always questioning how people's days have been, but obviously probably wait. Most likely whenever I say this, always wait. Eternally in my head I'll have answers for my own questions. Even if it's like the answer is just I have no clue. Which is weird. But then at the same time I'm always just thinking to myself. You know what's fun about TikTok? The 3 in the morning existential dread shenanigans, where it's just like, did you know that if the sun disappeared, we wouldn't know for 8 minutes? It's like the sun wouldn't just inexplicably disappear like that. And also nice background footage of a simulation of 2 years worth of rotation. That doesn't happen, so Those are just like anything that's like trying to look creepy on purpose, and then it's just like, why are you trying to make something look creepy? It's like, and then have the descriptor be like the actual thing that would make it more likely for there to be people to be like, with, when, you know, it's just weird. I don't get it sometimes. Then again, the amount of, then again, there's like ebbs and weaves of like certain types of content that my TikTok feed will give me. Like randomly, I'm getting a lot of like webtoons comics where it's just like, I think it's webtoons. It might be paywall even, and it's just like, on the one hand, it's like I get it, like why there's like so many of certain tropes in all narratives everywhere, but like at the same time, how many times do I have to see a plot line where it's like NPC, no, not NPC, or the main character, they die and then they end up being rebirthed into a royal family. Hijinks then ensue on things as simple as where they actually stand on the ladder when it comes to the hierarchy. It's just like, I understand why there's many people that dream of being royalty, but at the same time, considering I'm British, why would I want to be part of that royal family? That would be a stupid thing. Goes into my head, so. But then again, it's well, I mean, at least it's not the same as some of the other fucking music sort of tropey, rebirth bullshit. I'm always trying to figure out the exact reasoning why I have this deep-seated hatred of a lot of isekais. And I think it's just because they all do the same tired thing. And then, even then, isekais are... do I want to go through the rest of this dungeon? I can do. I think my reasoning actually is quite simple. I'm tired of certain tropes that all of them do. That just makes me go, ew. Like the overpowered MC thing. It's just like, yes, you're randomly going to be the strongest thing ever now. Ooh, yay. But even video game based ones as well, even if they're not isekai at all in the slightest, it's just like, why yes, these stupid, underpowered and very useless skills, if put together, means that you now rival the gods themselves. And just like, why? Why would that? Like, and it's the immediacy of like, oh, you see, they're bullshit OP, which means that it just makes it feel like, okay, so there's no actual threat then. And so while I'm waiting from the first punch of, okay, there's going to be 0 stakes for the entire thing, suddenly, Harem. And I'll just be like, ugh. I actually have had, I think I made it very clear in the past that I really, really hate games that decide to do optional romance when the writers are perfectly capable of doing actual romances and at the same time decide to be like, oh, so yeah, anyways, this series, known for its nice long amounts of continuity, is just going to basically make it so that we have to have a whole bunch of different things that are always now going to be non-canon. Because that's what you love to see. Oh, now everything's non-canon. It just makes you go, oh, okay, so my choices don't matter, and also... pardon me, and also instead of having a character dynamic that can be neat to have, it's now just, oh, this is one of many different variants of we ain't fucking going to confirm nor deny anything because otherwise we'll have shot ourselves in the foot, and we'll have many a fan that will hate us, and it's just like, ugh. Although in the case in some games and forms of media, you open yourself up to that, writers, when you decide, hey, you know what we should do as options? things that not exactly the most legal. Let's face that fact, and I know that I'm going to probably be being a bit of a dead horse here, but Persona 5, like, let's have this brilliant first arc that showcases how a teacher could easily abuse their students, both physically and mentally, to the point where all of them have lost all hope, to the point where one even tries to commit suicide on screen. So anyway, you can date your teacher. It's just like that just kind of defeats the purpose, really, in a way. It's like part of the social link for that is literally like student and teacher relations is bad, and it's like, yes, I agree, writers, it is bad. It can be quite often a bad thing. So why are you doing it? Could be, but at the end of the day, I don't think that it's necessarily wrong to be like, you know what, a romance can blossom between a 16 and a 15-year-old. Like, theoretically it can occur. That's why I'm not going to be instantaneously like, oh, any of that sort of thing is bad in universe. Because we know that the kinds of people who play a game like Persona 5 and then be all like, I like romancing Futaba, it's like, they self-insert themselves into Joker's position, and most of them tend to be very much adult, and then you're just like, and then you're just thinking like, oh god. And the internet proves that point correct at most times, because I don't like the internet at times, it really is just but it is a case of like but Persona is a good example where it's just like, because all romances are just optional ones, it means that any games that are set canon, that are set after the events of the game, just ignore it, or do their own separate way of doing romance. It's just like, there's no point. It's shallow at best, and feels like a waste of time at worst. And I say this as like a massive fan of both Mass Effect and what I've played with Dragon Age. Well, what I've enjoyed with Dragon Age, which is the first two games. And all three Mass Effect games. And it's like, those games are also very much like but you actually, in Mass Effect, you choosing to romance either the Thermite Survivor or the Awa, there's actual changes to some of the scenes based off of that. Hell, thanks to the Shadow Broker DLC, you can rekindle the romance with the Awa, which is lovely, and it's nice, and I do enjoy that. But that's a situation. So that shows that having a level of continuity is actually, for optional romances, can be achieved, even if it's minor, which at least makes me go, you know what, at least there's something to acknowledge what I did in the previous games. You will never see that you'll never see it in certain franchises. I bring up Persona, but like at the end of the day, like, most of the time they're just spin-off entries after the main title game. Like, so it's like, oh well, they don't want to acknowledge any potential romances you may have done in Persona 4 Golden in Persona 4 Dancing. Okay, well actually, I'm not sure if Dancing existed before Golden, but so even base Persona 4, in that case. And it's like, yeah, no, you don't need to acknowledge it in a dancing game spin-off, necessarily. Like, at the end of the day, I can understand why Atlas wouldn't bother. Same with the Persona 4 fighting games. It's like, at the end of the day, Arc Systems and Atlas, they don't need to carry on anything. It's a fighting game. Now, Persona 4 Wing Ultimax is actually a fun fighting game, and I do quite enjoy it, but it's not necessary. because there isn't much. Because if you because if you just went, that's just a spin-off, let's just treat it as non-canon, that'd be fine. No one would outright then go, oh, what the fuck, why is this considered non-canon? No one would care, I would argue. And the few people that possibly would care, it's like, yeah, because they like dancing. At the end of the day, Persona 5 and Persona 3 dancing are somewhat not canon, because it's like, but it's more due to timey-wiminess and, oh, you'll forget about it anyway. So it's like, oh, okay, so this entire time. But Persona 4 dancing can canonically happen, and there's no like, oh, you need to forget what happens. Persona 4 Arena, the game's straight up continues on the narratives of some of the characters from Persona 3, so it's just, you know, it's just like, yeah. So you know, the Persona 5 spin-offs, they don't need to, but it does work as a good example of how everything will be super not canon, just because, well, they don't want to do that. Single-player RPG, well, no, not single-player RPGs. Of course, me beating the dead horse, that is me complaining about Trails, well, complaining about Eventide. That segment is just such filler, because you need that bit of downtime between the arrow mode stuff and then all of the finale. Pardon me. Because you can't say like, oh, the finale has a bit of downtime with some of the side quests. Yeah, no, side quests that involve the continued trauma of the shit that happened in Hamel. Yeah, that, yeah, so such downtime. So, because I do know Ween shows up in Calvin at some point. I don't know when exactly, but he's on the front cover of Horizons, so Beyond the Horizons. So it means that they'll never confirm nor deny it, any of the potential Eventide events, because there's way too many. It's all high levels of optionality. Even with Revelry, where you can select, they're minor scenes, but at least it's something. At least it's something, and it makes you go, okay, I can actually have it where it's like, yeah, no, canonically this is a thing that happened. And instead it's like, no. Instead, I can put all my money on there just being no acknowledgement, even if any other member of Class 7 or other members of the cast that you could have done a Eventide scene with end up being in the same room as me. There will be no acknowledgement, and I will then, when I get round to playing it, get all like, oh, what the fuck, where's my canonicalness of Renex this character? And then I'll be the salty person that I complain about regularly. But it's more just because I like my continuity, damn it. It's like at the end of the day, Dragon Age 2, it's lovely that, oh, I happen to have kept Severan alive during the Offensive Origins. He now actively shows up. The fact that he even showed up for the final boss fight is just like, hey, this is a neat continuity. This is neat. It makes it feel like that my Pacific playthrough of Origins actually mattered. And that's great. The fact that there is that continuity with some very specific choices throughout Dragon Age. Right, Mass Effect. I'm going back to Dragon Age and Mass Effect because they do it right. BioWare did do it right. And I do think that they kept doing it fine with Dragon Age, because Inquisition does have continuity from 2, and I'm sure Veilguard has continuity to Inquisition. To what extent? No clue. But I do think they've done. I do like when there's clear signs that, oh, the developers have taken their time to actually go, you know what, this is an optional thing, but for those that done it, here's this neat little thing. Instead of just, right, scrap all of that you may have seen, none of it matters. You essentially could have cut out several hours of gameplay time and it will have been worthwhile. And it's just like, no, I don't agree. I don't agree on it at all. I'm ranting. I'm 100% ranting here, but it gets on my nerves because it makes me feel like I've wasted time. That's why I've stopped caring about romance in games unless it's like, no, this is the romance. This is what we want you. This is what we want these characters to do. Anyone who says otherwise can fuck right off. In games that have zero romance whatsoever, you can just leave it up to shippers. Like, oh, these two had a cute, wholesome moment. Let's ship them. And they're just like, oh, okay, sure. You can make fanfare off of it. Sure, cool. Have fun. Kind of logic. I see that with a whole lot of the Umamusume fan comic bits and whatnot. Or just any like Umo X Uma stuff sometimes. Even Umo X Trainer. Or even Trainer X Trainer. Where it's just like, you know what, if there's no like at the end of the day the Umas are based off of real horses, and so anything would be if you take that, if you go down a layer in terms of conscious thinking, then it's just like, I am essentially shipping a horse with a person. Or a horse with another horse. That would never have met due to the timeline not being consistent. But that's fine, you know? It's fine to an extent, you know, because it's like, yeah, well, the Umas are not the horses outright in terms of character. The horses didn't have some of those personality traits necessarily that they get presented with in Umamusume's animes or video games, you know? It's just like, the layers of understanding is easy to understand, I would argue, but only part of it, so, what I mean to say, I love seeing those wholesome ones, and yet at the same time, maybe that's it, maybe it's more just growing up and understanding that, you know what, romance in video games is dumb. Go back to my main point. But then, is it dumb? Is it dumb when you know the writers can actually do a good job of making you care about a specific pairing where they immediately just go, this is what we're going to do. We are going to make you care. And you are going to like it. Whether or not you actually like it is a different matter entirely. At the end of the day, it just makes you go, there's going to be people who will be like, what the fuck, I have to care about this? But it's like, well, the writers care. The writers decided that they're going to try and see if this actually works. Sometimes it can be that there's just no chemistry, and so you're just like, wait, why? It's like Grey's Anatomy. So many of the characters throughout the series have slept with each other at this point, and throughout the seasons, and it's just like, so why would you care if one suddenly got into another relationship, you know? It's like, congratulations, you're just the next fool that they're banging. It's like, lovely stuff. No, not really. It just shows that they ran out of ideas a while ago and needed to come up with more hooks, as it were, to try and keep people enticed into their stupid medical drama bullshit. They just make you go, oh yeah, their main audience would be into that sort of thing. At the end of the day, just because it's like, hey, we've got this singular romance that we want to do, doesn't mean that people are going to care about it. I mean, at the end of the day, I think stuff like Twilight was a whole lot of tripe. But hey, you know, if there's a specific pairing that the writer wanted to do, then yeah, as the sole person who's writing it, they have every right to be like, no, this is what happens, this character falls madly in love with this other character, it's my book, I can do what I fucking want. And you know what, I'd be like, yeah, sure, I don't read it, I don't care about it, but sure, go ahead. If it's problematic for a lot of very valid reasons, then, you know what, fair enough when people rightfully call things out and be like, this sort of thing shouldn't be done. Why are we allowing problematic relationships to be a thing? It's like, those toxic traits that can be used in a lot of romance. And it's straight up referred to in similar manners like that. But changing topics. recently saw a Reddit post being like, oh, there's a new Animal Farm, and it waters down the message, even though Animal Farm is about how the dangers of watering down the message. And I'm just like, I thought that the message was that power corrupts, but then again, I'm British. I had to learn Animal Farm like the back of my hand at one point in English. Same with Mice and Men. I actually vote with Mice and Men actually. But I do think that there is a layer of just not understanding Animal Farm. If, like, at the end of the day though, I feel like one look at them like, oh, are they trying to make it more for kids? And like, by that I mean the current generation of kids, where you have to try and keep their attention through waves of brain rot and rather cringy sounding things like the whole XIV stuff. That's not a position I would envy being in, because like some people are just that misunderstood is the thing. I think a child doesn't necessarily need to just be having constant amounts of fast-paced, random equals funny stuff to be enticed into watching a thing. But then again, I could be wrong. I haven't been a child for a good while now, so a good several years, multiple decades, in fact. So, look, over a decade. When does someone stop being counted as a child? Out of context, that question sounds wrong, but is it when they become a teenager? Is it when they actually become an adult? Is it when they stop having a teen in their age number? The question and the answers are all not... it's questionable, but no, I don't know the answer. So it ends up just being like... So obviously I'm not a good... demographic, because I'm not in the right demographic to be able to be like, yes, this is clearly what children want, or this is children want the exact opposite. So, but then again, it's like, you can have things be smarter, you can have more sophisticated shows that are designed for kids in mind. But then at the same time, like, a lot more mature themes will just go over the kids' heads, and then it just becomes a fun for all their family approach, whereas the child will not actually care about the more deeper, intricate stuff, while an adult might be just sat on the sofa next to the child being like, interesting approach they've taken here. And then you get shows that are clearly designed and advertised and aren't trying to be deep or intricate in the slightest, like season 1 of Generation 4 of MLP, where it's very clearly written for young girls, and yet garnered an audience of a lot of middle-aged men. I know that basically feeds into the negative stereotypes of what Brony was throughout all of the lifespan of the show, but like, I'm not wrong, is the thing. Stereotypes exist for a reason. And even though I certainly wasn't the target demographic, I was able to enjoy it as a kid, so I mean that they did something correct. And it does. There's definitely points in that show where you just see a scene and you're just like, you're doing this to please bros. Like the 100th episode, some of that fan service. Like, if you aren't online actively participating in the fandom at any point in the lifespan, you'll just see a random episode that's just like, who are these people? Why am I caring? And it's like, you're not given reason to care about a good number of them. It's just, oh hey look, they're doing the thing that the fandom made up to be associated with them. Like, we've got to make the one that looks somewhat David Tennant-y, which I don't agree with in the slightest at times. We need to make him sound at least somewhat British so that people can be like, you see, it clearly is the Doctor. Oh, and I'm just like, fuck's sake. LP came out in 2011. Matt Smith was the Doctor by that point, damn it. Well, actually, no, it came out 2010, like late 2010. Like, I think Matt Smith was the Doctor by that point, like the Regeneration had a card. Maybe it hadn't, maybe that was right before Christmas. Or maybe it was the Christmas right after the show that happened. But the timeline of events is... okay. Rename more. I keep forgetting to do that. It's just worthwhile. I'm trying to understand that. It's cool to reference a fandom, but at the same time, if the fandom is the wrong demographic, then it's like, well, then who's going to buy all the toys? But then it's like, oh no, they bought the toys. It's just like, oh, okay. I question it, but then again, I shouldn't question it. I have a box with plushies in it, so I probably shouldn't question it because I looked back on myself. But you know, I think I give the Bunny fandom a hard time because I got burnt on who I watched more than once, and who ended up being rumours and maybe even pedophiles. So it made my outlook of the fandom just like, there's a lot of people who were able to use their position of power or just age to be terrible people. And like, it happens in most, like, it does happen on the internet in most fandoms, but like, when it's a large fandom, it's like, it's like Minecraft YouTubers. It's like, man, how often do people be like, oh, I really love this Minecraft YouTuber, and then that Minecraft YouTuber does something fucked up, and it's just like, you know? It's like one that hits more for my age group. Oh boy, I sure love getting home after school and watching Skyter's Minecraft. Like, seriously, like, it's like, and it's not even like just straight up, oh god, what did they do to children? It's just more just, if they do something that's fucked up, they do something that's fucked up. And it's like, it just shows that that people can make mistakes. If it's a minor mistake that they can learn from and actually become better, then, you know, well, no need to hang it over their heads the entire time they are still alive. The internet doesn't forget easily, thankfully, in a lot of cases, but really, I've already got all the stuff that we're... it's because it's giving me the tank gear. Damn it! I knew I should have gone Dark Knight. I guess. I think that's definitely something at the end of it. Like, at the end of it all, the show that has now ended will always have its fans. And we should just understand that, you know. Or maybe on the thing I said right before I interrupted myself. I think there's a lot of creators that definitely have done things that would get them rightfully a lot of shit. But that doesn't mean that they've done anything illegal. Like, just being an arsehole isn't grounds for cancellation. That is a point I do think is the case. Like yes, you do have your people who are just always an arsehole, and rightfully people should be warned, hey, don't get into watching this person. They'll treat you like shit and you'll feel bad for being treated like shit by them. It's like, I'm surprised anyone still says with a straight face, oh yeah, I want to watch Darkside Phil. Like, who actively just wakes up one day and goes, I know who I want to watch, Darkside Phil. Like, no one actively does that. But then again, people will wake up and go, will choose to wake up in the morning and be like, you know what I want to listen to? Joe Rogan. I wonder what alt-right guff he's got on this time. He'll just nod and agree with whatever's being said, and then he may disagree with what they say after the fact, but while they're in that studio, no, hey, I agree with what you're saying. I do think that being... Conversely though, I do think that just because you're successful doesn't mean that people should auto-hate. Like, all the, like, anything that is to do with, like, oh, Mr. Beast is actually a gigantic arsehole. He's a rich white man in America. I think most rich white men in America are arseholes. Most rich people are arseholes. I do think that that's just not really gonna change the way you look at them, really, all too much. Much in my opinion. But then again, my opinion about someone like Mr. Beast on how he does stuff on YouTube has always been the same sort of mindset, where it's just like, oh, if he chooses to throw his money at a thing, then so be it. It's his fucking money. There's no reason to be like, oh, how dare. Like some of the earlier stuff, it's just like, oh, how dare he buy a thing and then have his friends do something fun with said thing. If it happens to make more money out of it, then, you know, whatever. If the content's fun for everyone to watch, then, you know. I do think that there is a point where it's like, to like, the whole just throw money at things approach. But then again, I'm not the kind of person who would actively have wanted to sit down and watch some, like, Beast games anyway. Like my opinion of oh, let's just get as many people as humanly possible in the same room. Oh, with a lot of that, we now have to cut the number down by a way too much, because turns out for pretty much all game shows ever, there's a reason why they go for a smaller number of people, or the format means that while you can have a large number of people involved, you don't go around promoting, like, be like anything that's got like auditions to them that are like lines and like the voice. It's like the voice probably goes through like a good amount of people in like the, oh, will any of the judges select this person who happens to be somewhat halfway decent at singing? Like, at the end of the day, like, there's only something that will actually go through. And so you just end up with there being people who just fail. And, like, that's what happens. It's a game show, essentially. So something like that with these games where it's just like, oh, we need to eliminate an entire row of people now, just immediately. It's just like, yeah, no, that was to be expected. Honestly, like, you don't advertise like, oh, we've got thousands of people if you're not planning to get rid of several hundred on the first day. Because you also then have all the logistics of trying to manage a lot of people all in one go, and that's not always the easiest to do. So, you know, clearly I currently don't watch Mr. Beast, though I have no idea what he's currently done, but every time I hear people complain, it's always usually the same talking points. It just makes me go, at the end of the day, does a rich person need to care about what the plebeians do? And like, obviously, anything that's AI related, I have a firm stance that most AI is bad, because it's the forms that are used are just straight up stealing from other people's art. That's the AI I just actively want to just push off a cliff. Ugh, like if I could take the language model, put it on like a singular device, shove it into a car, then drive that car off a cliff into the ground below, presumably killing both me and the AI data center that the AI's put on, then, you know, that's on me. Like, that's just my opinion, really, at the end of the day. But I do think that any of them that actively scrapes other people's creative stuff rightfully should get called out and told, no, this is bad, this is wrong, this shouldn't be what happens. And yeah, it does, and not much can be done about it. And quite a lot of those learning models end up having to scrape until a large company goes, "Ah, no, you fucking don't." Like, if Disney's, if a company like Disney turns around and goes, "All these AI things, stop using our fucking stuff," then or we'll sue the shit out of you. Chances are, a number of the companies will, like, on paper be like, "Yeah, alright, sure," and then still do it anyway. As long as they can somehow prove that they didn't, then what's Disney meant to do? What are they meant to do? Other than be like, well, we told them to stop, they then choose not to. What can be done? 2 possibilities. Level 42. If we live in level 44, then we'll be done really quickly. But we're level 43 because we entered here at 42, so that's not too bad. And we got a shark this time round. Ooh, I want a gun, damn it! This Guardian's still ingot, and more pairs of Jambayas even. And we even got a blue dragon card, which is neat. I'll take it though, because it means that we are actually inadvertently farming triple track cards. Hooray! Right, okay, we are level 43, so we are still in Stone Vigil, I believe. Yep, it's 44 to go into Desmond, and then 47 for Ornthale, and then we'll be at 50. And actually, in terms of leveling, most expansions, the leveling dungeons are every 2 levels, with some exceptions to the rule. Heavenwards specifically, Duskbreaker is 41. But is not actually required by the main story, so I might have said 41, it's 51. There's one in Stormblood that's level 53 that you don't do, so it's like you go from like the 51 dungeon to the 55 dungeon in terms of leveling. So it's, you know, it's neat. Anyway. I don't want to defend, like, the biggest channels that exist in a way, because, like, I don't need to defend. They have their own viewers to do that. I just don't want to bash them. Like, if they're not actively doing anything outright wrong. And I'm sure there are. I'm sure they are. Like, plenty of people who have a higher position in the world will always look down on others, and there will always be skeletons in people's closets. I do think that sometimes in a lot of industries, even the most pure and innocent will end up having dark things go on in their life that just makes it so it's like, yeah, it happens, you know? I'm not saying that means everyone outright has done something evil, just something that just ends up making them be like, man, if only I didn't have to do that. Maybe that's just my way of looking at things. Then again, I can be quite pessimistic sometimes, so maybe that's it. Maybe that's part of it then. Like, oh, I look at the world in a rather bleak manner where you can't trust any politician or in America you can't even trust anyone who swears to uphold the rule of law because the actual rules that they care about are different to the ones that you have to follow. It's just a mess at that point. It's like with any comments I've made of Keir Starmer. It's like at the end of the day, with the current shenanigans to do with the Mandelson stuff, at the end of the day, someone lied. Whether it was Starmer himself, Mandelson, but that shouldn't matter too much, he's already out and should rightfully be punished for anything he's done illegally. Was it the people that did the thing? Was it the people who did the thing? The person who got told the results by the people who did the thing that then turned around and lied to Starmer directly? Was it that someone in the process made it so that the fetters didn't see the thing that would make it so it'd be like, yeah, no, this is a absolute fucking no chance in hell. sort of approach to mannerism. And it's like, until you can prove without a shadow of doubt who actually was the one in the wrong, to just immediately go, ah, well, that's it, it's time to get out, it's a bit much. Like, do we really want more turmoil? Could the Prime Minister last a full term without issue for once? Of course, Sod's Law will dictate that'll be the one leader you don't want lasting the entire time, but you know. Then again, the biggest issue that Labour has is always and will be that the media don't like Labour. The only reason why they were like, yeah, Labour during the election a couple of years back was because they saw more profit in the Conservatives being put into the position of being the opposition, rather than them still leading. And of course the direction of the media being like, woo, Farage, yay, Farage, and all that, and reform and all that, shows that there's clearly a position where media will always say that Starmer's doing a bad job. And even if it's something that they wanted the government to do in a long time, it'll be that, oh, but Starmer's doing it in a way that we don't do. That's like, the thing is, it's trouble when all of the media is owned by the same three old white twats, then what can you do, you know? I've seen arguments about how that it's like, oh, those that complain about capitalism, communism was bad if not worse. And it's like, well, the people who co-opted communism were the likes of Stalin and Mao, two people who used it to be able to form their own dictatorships. That just shows that that ideology doesn't matter, in the sense of, if you want to become a dictator, then it's more of a totalitarian thing than straight up just, oh, I happen to be a dictator, that must mean I'm automatically fascist. No, because communist dictatorships existed. Hell, capitalistic ones, oligarchies are essentially capitalistic ones, where the people who have the money are the ones that end up getting the final say, because they'll tell the leaders, you must do this. How many fucking Passage Empires are the game gonna try giving me? I'm not playing Ninja. Fucking hell. The point I want to make, though, is that it's clear that people will always complain and then forget that fascism is one facet of how to try and control a nation. It just so happens that the Nazis used fascism, and currently quite a few countries happen to want to be fascist, which is bad. That should not have occurred. I wonder how quickly YouTube's going to be like, oh, you're saying something about politics, oh, banhammer. It's like, I realise that there's like, I'm saying like all political ideologies are bad. And yet I still participate in elections, because at the end of the day, at least it's still for, in the case of the UK, it's still a democracy. Even if I don't agree with the leader, even if I don't agree with the main opposition, even if I don't agree with anything any independent says, or agree with whatever someone says, at the end of the day, it's just down to what you believe in. It's similar with religion. It's down to what you believe in. If you believe in what the Bible teaches, then yeah, okay, you're a Christian. And or believe what Islam teaches. So it's like, oh, okay, that's fine. You know, it's something that just means it's just like you're putting faith into a thing, and that's fine. Sometimes faith is needed. There's a reason why there's a lot of parts of human history where it's like, why did they do this? Oh, it's because of their faith in a thing that may or may not exist. And it's like, yeah, well, I believe it. Like the Crusades, like at the end of the day, it's like, we believe this bit of desert is the Holy Land, and should be rightfully ours. Some other people who follow a different religion. Actually, that bit of desert should belong to us under the guidance of our God. Cue a lot of fighting, and blood, and unfortunate amounts of money being wasted on fighting for a bit of desert. It's so funny actually that a lot of the wars that have occurred in recent times to do with the Middle East, it's like it's like we haven't actually gone away from the days of the Crusades, where a bunch of religious people would go to the Pope and be like, we want to declare war on those that are trying to stop us from having the Holy Land. And now it's like, oh, we got the pretenses are different. It's like, oh, we got to stop this country because we believe that they have things that they shouldn't, and then instead of actually providing proof, it's just believe what I say because I'm the president, damn it. Which isn't solid evidence. It never is. It's just going, oh, just trust me guys, is not evidence. Saw posts about one of the members of the System of a Down being like, oh, you know what, we shouldn't be divided based on political beliefs. And it's like, huh. System of a Down. Same System of a Down that has the lyric, you can't stay neutral on a moving train, is surprisingly trying to stay neutral. Everyone then immediately goes, that's because it's Serge that made the lyrics. And it's like, you know what, sure. You can argue that that's the point. Like, oh, all the lyrics were done by one person who happens to have a specific set of beliefs. Everyone else has different. It's like, yeah, that's true, it does occur. But it's weird to say, oh hey, did you know half the band are diehard MAGA? Even though the entire band made music the entire way through Bush's one, being like, man, Bush is a bad president. It certainly is interesting to see, at the very least. Just how so many, there are actually quite a few metal and hard rock acts that are strangely very, very Republican. It'd be like if during like the 80s you were a punk band going on about how much you loved Margaret Thatcher. Like, not even like the shittest version of The Clash. Where like, yay, Thatcher, woo. Because that would just not work. Like, obviously, that didn't work at all in the slightest as an album, but like, even that iteration of the group, if they suddenly were like, woo, Thatcher, like, it would somehow probably be better somehow. In a twisted sort of sense of like, it would be funny, but it would be career suicide. Kind of. It would be like a punk band in general being like suddenly like, oh yeah, I love the government, woo, yay, government. Because you just be like, a lot of punk is very much fuck the government. Not straight up like anarchy necessarily, but very much like, these are the social political issues we happen to disagree with, and rebel against the system by thinking that Nigel Farage is actually a lovely guy. Like, no, that would just not make sense. Though I do think any musical act that gets too much success will always lose some of the core values they have in terms of being able to be relatable. Primarily rappers, like, how easy is it to lose relatability just because it's like, because instead of it being like songs about how you've had to scratch and claw your way to make it to where you are today. It's like, I'm rich, woo, yeah, whoopee. It's like the difference is there. Visual cuffs. Level 44, I don't have any Desmond gear because we haven't done it, so oh boy, okay. Yeah, let's go do the final boss. I'm in the mood to actually do final bosses today. Besides, if it means I don't have to do too many ones of Unfurled, then that will be good, because I don't remember how the... Well, have I actually ever done Unfurled before? I'm gonna say no. But at the same time, Unfurled as a dungeon has definitely been certainly a dungeon of all time. Besides, the bits with like the fruits I can spread shot anyway. I've been able to spend most of this past hour just yapping away. On the one hand, that's not a bad thing necessarily, because it means, hey, I'm talkative, that's a good thing. But on the other hand, it's like, if it's just nonsensical, or stuff that people just don't want to hear about, then I'm essentially just... Well, then again, I could always just be talking to a brick wall the entire time, and do all that, but, yeah, you never know. To just assume would make myself an arse. Hee-haw, hee-haw. And all that. Oh god, I think it was last week, it might have been the other week, in some other YouTube live stream, someone in a chat, this was someone else's stream, not my own, someone said, oh, you can't say rough twice fast. I then immediately say out loud, like, what, you can't, like, it's very easy to say rough fast very twice very fast. Rough. And then I realised, oh, I've essentially just become a dog. I have been played, I have been fooled, I have been debated, and I quite possibly have been bamboozled. So I got a little bit irate over that, but not in the joking way, where I'm just like, ah, oh, damn it, I got tricked. It'd be like if someone managed to get me to lose the game. I'll be like, ah, you git, and then go on about with my day. Speaking of which, now we'll lose the game. Though to be fair, I had to lose it first, so you know. But at least I'll keep my virginity. Why is that my first line of thought with myself thinking like, oh, I made myself lose the game? Like what? What is wrong with me? Is it about a flyer? I think it's about having the time in this fight sometimes, where it's just like, can't just immediately do things that are off cooldown, because it'll fly into the sky and then I'm wasting me time. How do we get to admire the thing here? Still using long stop gun. Please, game, give me something else. Please, I beg of ye. Actually thinking about it, relatability is definitely one reason why I probably don't get into most black flappers rather, because a lot of it's very much about how they've had to spend years being considered second class by a lot of rich white people in pretty much most of America. As like, I, a pasty white dude from England, won't have the same life experiences. It's the same with like this. It's the same as like any time someone in media does a story about understanding their own body. It's like, I don't relate to the more trans side of it because I'm not trans. I mean, at least if it's still an entertaining watch, it'd be like, yeah, it was good. I couldn't relate to it, but it was good. So, that's why I'm thinking with like quite a lot of black. A lot of it comes from black people who I can't relate to, so it's just like, yeah, no, okay, yeah, I can understand and go, yeah, no, this music's good, or white, or whatever might happen to have in terms of taste, in terms of music. I admit my tastes are rather not the best, out of just because who in their white mind would for all of their childhood be like, you know what my favourite things are? Stuff from 2 decades ago, and then people be like, oh yeah, sure, I totally agree with you. No, they'll be busy going on about more modern acts at the time, although they're not modern acts these days. Or maybe they still are. It depends really who you're referring to. It'd be like if it's like 2005 and it's like, oh, I really love Black Sabbath, and then everyone else is too busy going on about Coldplay or something. It's like, Coldplay have still managed to retain some level of relevance to this day, so you could still get people being like, oh, you know what, I like Coldplay, and you probably would get people going like, yeah, no, I agree with you, yeah, or like, I disagree with you, but okay, I can see where you're coming from. I use Coldplay as an example. I'm not entirely too sure. I don't know what children listen to these days, or even young people as a whole. I don't know. Well, obviously that's a lie. Considering how well certain records by people like Taylor Swift has sold, I can hazard a guess that most people have listened to Taylor Swift. But that feels really easy to be able to correctly say. Like, I can just look at Spotify numbers and be like, well, clearly this is the stuff that people want to listen to. Like, it doesn't take any amount of there's people whose jobs is to analyze numbers and be like, you see, this is proof that this person is a hit or not a hit. And it's like, I don't have that sort of job, but I can look at numbers and be like, well, clearly they're a success because people turn around and go, yeah, this is the sort of thing I want to listen to. That's monk! That is the monk weapon! I'll take the orchestration role, but that's the monk weapon! I am still using Brave Locks, damn it! Actually, you know what? We can just buy... What's the highest tier one we can buy? That's level 45, I might as well wait until then. Damn it! But that's the 41 one, which actually, in comparison wise, has one additional power to damage to it. It has better skill speed, vitality, and dexterity, but no determination. Okay, right, well, I'm just gonna keep opening the doors. I'm getting to let the cold in. I am the bastard. Level 44, that means Decimel time. For 2.5 levels worth experience. Decimel, it's a Decimel dog code. I do believe I can be a hypocrite. I say this not just because that it's easy to agree when everyone's saying something is bad and also then going, yeah, sure, it's bad without consuming said media that they're complaining about, but also because I happen to use... I regularly complain about Trails for some reason, even though that's my profile picture is from Trails. It's so weird. It's so weird. Especially even that I complain about Eventide the most. It's like man, you'd think that like the segment's like the worst bit of the game ever, but it's like it's not. It's not the worst bit. I think there's a bit early on in Cold Steel 4 that makes me go, eh. And Cold Steel as a whole, the worst parts would be I would say the worst bits include outer game wise, the fact that Cold Steel got localized before Crossbell, and then you're just meant to suddenly be like, ah yes, I care about what's going on here with these characters that I have yet to interact with because they are in games that haven't been localized. Seriously, that intermission bit of Cold Steel 2 is just who are all you people? What is a Crossbell, other than that place that we apparently wanted to take over? And by we I mean Erebonia. So I should look on the map. That's a fucked up bit there, but look at the main map. It looked like it didn't go that far. Oh, it's a guardhouse. Okay, well, yeah, it's a dead end, so unless there's an item or something. Is there an item around this area, or is it just enemies? Yeah, it's just enemies. Right, let's not hassle, let's not waste time fighting them then. Quite a few bits of small patches of tunnels for this one. Chocobo Stables and the Gullet. I wonder which one's the correct way to go. Ooh, there's a chest over there, so it might not be the correct way to go, but it might be worth going over there. Honestly, though, like more so like the, I feel like every time Angelica's on screen, I just groan and go, why? To her character. I think I've made that abundantly clear. Cold Steel 3, actually, I think has the worst scene in all of the Cold Steel games with, even though I find Cold Steel 3 my favourite of the 4 Cold Steel games, I did not enjoy seeing Shirley sexually assault a person who they're meant to be in an alliance with, who are on the same side with, by the way. It's like, man, I sure do love when Ouroboros decide, you know what we should have as an enforcer? Someone who actively goes around sexually assaulting people just for the fun of it. Oh boy. Is this Disciple of War? It is Disciple of War. Okay, I'm assuming the female version is different. Because otherwise, Square. I have several questions. And wait, I'm playing a cowboy. Great. We get to show off our torso. Woo, yay. Damn it. But then again, Ouroboros are meant to be evil. But then again, at the same time, I then turn around and go, this is Ouroboros. This is the thing that influenced Hoyo to botch the Harbingers in Genshin. Because they did the same fucking mistakes. Or at least from the amount of Genshin I actually have ever played. Because, oh no, you see, there's actually people who are good. And even though they'll still work for the evil people doing the evil things, they're just misunderstood and are actually, you know, sensible. And if anything bad happened to, we'd actually be more like, oh, instead of, yay, one of the bad guys have been beaten. I'm just saying, if you set up an evil group full of evil people, then having them be like, actually guys, I may do all the evil things, but I'm actually a good guy, makes me go to it. Now, elephant in the room I should address is of course Kingdom Hearts with Organization 13, the original version, not the true or bullshitting 3. I should say, like, welcome to this is an organization of nobodies who are trying to do the whole let's form Kingdom Hearts thing. It's like, yeah, there's clearly a level of evilness to it all. Obviously. Yeah, obviously there's members that we do care about. Roxas, Axel. At the end of the day, like even in Kingdom Hearts 3, Demix does a face turn, as does Vexen. So it's like, at the end of the day, like, it's not like you can't do that. But you have to set it up that their reasonings for being with the evil group that want to do the evil thing is solely for purposes that actually turns out to be like, oh no, actually this is a good thing. Like they are like the justification for Vexen being a good guy in Kingdom Hearts 3 nearer to the end of the game is because he just cared about the languages. He didn't actually care about whatever Senna was trying to do, as long as he was allowed to work on his research. And it's just like, huh. I guess that allows him to be more of that neutral alignment kind of person where it's just like, oh yeah, he cares about his research. And that's what matters to him. And it's like, yeah, no, fair enough. But obviously, like, it's down to writers to make you suddenly be like, you know what? I care about what happens to this character. I care about how they can be seen as a good, or at least in a better light. Is this also the Cycle of War? It is, and you can tell I haven't done Decimel. I don't want to know what the female equivalent looks like. I'm dreading any other bits of gear I get from this dungeon. Please, can I at least get the gun so it's not completely an utter waste of time? And wait, am I still wearing... I'm still wearing level 1 gear. What the... We need to get better accessories. But what the fuck is these Colosseum gear bits? I mean, it's good gear. Don't get me wrong. I do like to get better gear, but like... Do I need to start looking like a slut? I'm gonna go off to Limsa and start selling my body. After this, clearly. I'll just walk into the level 45 quest being like, hey guys, I'm the best Machinist here. And just the NPCs are just gonna be like, Stefanian, the fuck is he wearing? And then he'll even be like, good question, what for this fool? The fuck is he wearing? Even he'll just be like, I don't know. Just like everyone just breaks character and just like, what? Well, hey, at least at the end of the day, it's I'm not. Wait, hang on. This is Disciple. Well, tanks get different gear, so at least at the end of the day, I'm not playing a tank. Because if this was tank gear, I'd be like, the male equivalent of boob armor. I mean, nice to see that even the men can be sexualized in that sense. Wait, hang on. This is gear hang on, because this gear isn't class specific. You can have this on Lalafels. Hang on a second. Wee woo. Square, I have several questions. Starting with why. Secondly, how. Well, actually, no, the how can be very easily answered. Second question, why. Third question, why? Well, at least this allows us to truly ask the question, does my custom character that I have made here for this purposes of playing through a game that I happen to like, that I haven't done several expansions of, can they look hot? And the answer is, well, let's take a look on the internet and see what people say about some of the Catboys that have shown up throughout the series. Some which may or may not be spoilers for expansions in the future. And the answer would be, yes actually, people do find the Catboys rather hot. So that means that most likely they would find quite a few people's custom Catboys to be also hot. I'm not saying that I agree, I'm just saying, Harlequin is the magic gear. Okay, so we got the gloves. I'm just saying, it's just like, I don't mean to be a prude. Well, I am a fan of Inuyasumi, so being a prude is part of it, I guess. But like, why? Oh, please let that be better. It's Disciple of War. Why are there 2 Disciple of Wars? And why is it not as good? What? Where is it? Where is it? Iron comparison. Same strength, same dexterity, same vitality, but the Colosseum gives critical hit and skill speed, whereas the Buccaneer shirt gives direct hit. Of course, the barely clad clothing is down. Damn it. In a way, I kind of want like some of the accessories. Wasn't all the neck items just like, oh, you see, the logic behind it is it gives multiple different stats, and so Oh well. No, pardon me. Hey, at least this is decimal gear, which means the moment we get into all and fail, we can maybe replace it. And hey, you know, it's Disciple of War gear, which means we can glamour. We can use it as glamour if there's a class that would fit it more. Or something. I hope YouTube doesn't bonk me for this outfit. It'd be like, no, you see, it's best in slot. It's best in slot. Get your website. Please don't ban me. Where the fuck is the enemy? Oh, there's the enemy. Had to make an entrance, you see. It's best in slot, Your Honor. It's probably not a good enough defense. At least, because at least when it's like when it's a glamour outfit or a transmog, like wow, at least then, you know, they are actively choosing to do that of their own free will. Like their best in slot is like a fucking head to toe covered, and they choose, no, I want to look like I'm in my underwear. Like, that's their own choice. When it's best in slot, it's like, well, either like, the choice is like, either I do shiter, or not look like a slut. The possibilities are rather limited, actually. This is Tourlord. This boss actively has, like, a bunch of allies with it. Not that it matters too much, it's like, I'm just dead. Tank gear, Buccaneer's Twicone, which will be better than... This doesn't make it look any better! It's like, I've gone from eye... I'm still wearing an eye patch because this is a head item. No, it's a head item that has an eye patch to it. Oh, that's neat. This doesn't make it look any better! If this is how I end up getting fan art, the first fan art ever, I will be very happy to see fan art, but also at the same time I'll just be like, oh god, please. Oh yeah, we get Wildfire just straight up. I'll put that over there. The way it works, we'll have to look at, because I believe, because I'm reading it when we were going through the action trace, I do believe it's you apply a thing to an enemy and then you do single target actions until it either blows up on its own accordance or you trigger an explosion. So, you know, it's a nice little way of dealing more damage in a later bit of time. But it relies on like single target stuff, so anything to like add like trash mobs, add pools, kind of stuff probably aren't too favourable in that sense. Anywho, Hellsbound Warriors. Apparently we need to deactivate a magic. It doesn't make it look any better. I mean, I'll welcome if anyone gets inspired to draw anything based off of anything I do. Like I'll be happy. I'll wave it around in the middle of the town centre and be like, look, people care about what I do. And then people would, but then if it's this, I'm sure many people just look on and be like, the fuck? Are they high drunk or high end drunk? Ooh, actually, I haven't said this. The other day I was outside, made it through like an area, and as I get to the main road, there was a funeral concession going on. They literally just left the nearby church by looks of things. So it's nice to see like horses trotting down the road, but it's like you can then see like the amount of cars behind them that may or may not have been people who were there. And so it's like, man, this is one big traffic jam, and oh god, what the I'm just gonna spam spread shot and try and reduce the amount of ads. What the fuck? Why did they pull two groups? I mean, I'm glad the game didn't just go, no, they're dying now, thankfully, but like, ooh. got to defeat an enemy. And then we're done with this dungeon for the first trip through, because we'll probably have to do two. But also we're level 45, which means we have a quest. We're going to look stupid during said quest, but it'll be a quest nonetheless. Well, at least he can't use those two huge fuck-off swords to slice me clothes off. I've kind of done that to myself. So yeah, we apply that. I'll overheat and then just go boom, boom, boom. I realise that I'm not doing it right. Boom, boom. And then wildfire triggers. I don't know if it actually triggered all too well, but... Oh, right, okay. So the gimmick of this boss... Ooh. And I've wasted my overheat. By the looks of things, is that there's the crystals that make it invincible. Okay. Good to note. I've been getting hot down in this cave. But the funny thing is, Desmel's in Corvus. Like, from this point forth, we're just doing dungeons in Corvus, so like... Oh, he's invincible now. Pete's invincible! And then do the reaction command, or if you're in the Timeless Wither version of the fight, you don't do the reaction command, because there is no reaction command, you just have to wait a second. Oh, God. I miss playing Kingdom Hearts at times, actually. Oh, you see, it's fine when it happens in a thing I like. Like, at the end of the day, I should be like, oh, optional romance, oh, that's bullshit, I fucking hate it. But then I'm like, but Mass Effect, I'm fine with it. Even though it's like, they make some of the same mistakes, damn it. It's just like, I'm just, it's biasness. It's like how at the end of the day, there's, like, several valid reasons as to why I should hate. I should be like, you know what? Despite everything, obviously, Saints Row 2 is not mechanically the best open world crime game ever, but I'm biased. I love Saints Row 2. Saints Row 2 is better than quite a good amount of GTA in my opinion. And yeah, it has a lot of the same flaws. Maybe it's just more it's the game I played that I liked more so. Which isn't to say that it's like, oh, I never played a GTA, but no, I played San Andreas before Saints Row. Like, and obviously San Andreas is a good game. I don't play the Definitive Edition for obvious reasons, but... We gained leggings? Are they Colosseum? No, they're engineer leggings. But we also have... No, that's my spirit bond. It's Buccaneer's boots we gained. Okay, I was thinking... No, wait, hang on, we had that before. I mean, they're still just shoes. At least it's not... Are we all secretly women? That looks rather flat. Now that I think about it. I am now trying to look at my own junk. We do the greatest of stuff here. Oh, a staff. Shame I'm not a black mage. And we still haven't gotten the gun! Fuck it, I'm buying... Oh, no, I'm buying the level 45 gun. I'm buying it just so we have a better weapon. Steph, I'm gonna have to help you liking like this in the cold. I'm gonna be freezing me tits off. Wait, I'm rather flat. That means I've already frozen them off. Greetings, Chris. Your training proceeds apace, I trust. Stay a while, and we can discuss our strategy for the tourney. I'm not going into the tourney like this. They'll look at me and be like, see, this is proof. The Machinist Guild is, and the manufactory is all like full of, like, look at them. They can't even afford clothes. It would appear everyone is present, even our dear instructor. So let's delve into the particulars of the upcoming contest. Now, the degree of fulfill the Holy See bestows is much influenced by the outcome of the tourney, and thus do the nobles enter only the most able champions. I assume that Tellergringe in his small-minded maliciousness, seeks to humiliate us before the adjudicators, and thereby convince the Holy See to cease the flow of funds to the manufactory. But understand me, Lordship. Most Guardians aren't hardly aware that Machinists exist. Why are we so grabbed by Lord Tiddo Grinch's attention? That's because he's likely noticed that your firearm can kill a man that'll not, but your dainty little finger on the trigger. It's the same reason there's laws in Limsa that prevent any old Duncan Horson from carrying a musket. Yeah, that's true. It's probably best that all the pirates don't wield guns, actually, in a way. And Ishgard's hierarchy ain't exactly fair and measured now, is it? You arm the lowest folk on the ladder with weapons like ours, then you can be sure as the tide that their barrels soon be pointed toward their over-privileged bastards will stand at the top. Ah, good old revolution. Love to see it. But as you say, most of the nobles don't seem to understand the threat what an army of Machinists could pose. This Telegrinch bloke is a step ahead. I'll give him that much. Aye. He's a despicable fellow, but also uncommonly clever. Even so, he has failed to arrive at the most obvious conclusion. Well-trained and well-armed populace would strengthen Ishgard's defences tenfold. And if we are to convince the Holy See of that fact, then we must claim victory at the tourney. Can I put on some warmer clothes first, damn it? You got something in mind, then? I have been considering several strategies, but to practice them here in playing field with our adversaries would void their effectiveness. We must needs look further afield for a silver location strength. Please be Fallon, please be Fallon, please be Fallon. Bloodshore and Eastern Onosio to do the trick. I'll score us a place where we can shoot to our heart's content. You know what? I'll take the beaches of Costa del Sol over the snowy wastes of Corvus. Joy, pray make preparations for the journey after you've returned to your duties in the manor, of course. As for you, Chris, I'd have you test another of my innovations. Remain behind and I shall make some adjustments to your Aether Transformer. Oh boy. What's the plan then, Stephanie? Forgive my duplicity, Chris. The talk of adjustments was merely an excuse so that we might speak alone. Oh, right, fair enough. Now you hear me boast to my father that Machinist company is consumed from the backbone of our defence. That was something of an exaggeration. Oh, when it comes to gigantic dragons, aye, one may as well be firing at the side of a barbican. In the tourney, however, the lesser sides of our opponents will work against us. It requires intensive training to constantly track and score hits against targets that are both small and agile. That is true. The smaller the target and it's moving fast, the less likely your bullet will hit, because you have to aim to where they're going to be going, rather than where they are. Unless your bullet goes at a faster speed, in which case you can aim for them before they even know which way they're turning. And as there is but little time left before the contest, our victory will depend largely upon your skilled contribution. If Joy is able to display even a fraction of your battle savvy, then the reputation of the Machinists will flourish. First, I need you to attend our practice with undivided focus and provide a shining example to which she might aspire. Fair enough. I question my outfit. Oh, we're level 56. 56? Off to Stormblood I go. Once Joyce completes our task of the hour, we can be off to Bloodshore. I wonder what could be keeping her. Should the market to restock the larder or some such. Alright, off to the pillars we go. You know what? I understand why Alphino didn't like going into Corvus the first time round. But to the pillars! It's down by the market, so Jeweled Queesia. Because they're running that way. That's why it's like, don't look at me, random person. Don't look at me. Should probably find a towel or something. Oh, hello, Chris. Hello, Chris. You must be eager to get in some practice there for the big contest. I'll be ready to go just as soon as I hauled my shop into the manor. If I'm continuing Machinist training, I can't be shirking my other chores. I made a promise to the Count. But I won't keep you waiting much longer. I want to the manor with what I've got and come back for this big sack afterwards. We could help her in secret or offer to help. Yeah, let's help her in secret. Can you keep on this other sack till I get back, Chris? Shouldn't take too long. Alright. Right, let's pick it up. I mean, to be fair, if they chose to model down there, we'd be showing Joy our heavy sack right about now. And that's... I'm just gonna say stupid bullshit until I'm done with living. Blood and Sands is up there. Might as well run up then. Why am I not sprinting? Am I just asking to remain cold? In fact, we are so underdressed. I'm starting to feel cold in real life, which I shouldn't. Which I won't be putting a jacket on because then it's a little bit of a chill in the air. But that's probably just because of other factors. Chris, what are you doing here? Who's watching the other sack? You mean this sack? Lending a hand to young Joy here, are you? Very good. This was the last of her tasks for the day. She is free to assist Stefanison in his work. Pray return to your tourney preparations. So the Count seems fine with the tourney stuff, so yeah, he's obviously not as bad as it looked. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you helping me, of course, but I appreciate you helping his lordship even more. The Count was against me becoming a machinist. He knew that me dad's too feeble to work, though, and was kind enough to let me keep me place on the manor staff. Me family's been on the street if it wasn't for this job, and I can't thank him enough. Sometimes I don't feel right that I repay him by spending half my time at the manufactory. But maybe now that you're around for Stefanison, his lordship won't need me to be a machinist no more. Maybe in the tourney will repay the Count's kindness. Never thought that way. Well, we should be getting ourselves to Bloodshaw. That we should. That we should. Just meanwhile, the main quest is just over there. Hey guys, I've lost my clothes. Can I just go in and get some new ones? Right. Anyways, to Costa del Sol. I mean, look, the better part there. Maybe I'll dance near the dancers for a bit, being like, "Hey, look at me! I'm now a dancer! Woo! Yippee! Yahoo!" So it looks so. Do I have any other mounts? I don't. Wow. I really could. I could hunt down. No, I could go about going onto like the market board and just seeing what ones there are. Oh, I'm flying the wrong way. I don't know why. Oh yeah, because that's where the warrior quests start off in When We're Born. So that's probably why I'm thinking like, oh, obviously Bloodshaw means they go this way, but no, Bloodshaw also goes down this way. I just am dumb. They're training over here by the snippers. Certain snips. Single player duty time. Right, let's begin, shall we? Our objective shall be to explore the most effective methods of countering our knightly opponents. If a knight cannot reach you, he cannot hurt you. Thus, we shall concentrate on those machinist skills that hinder movement. Prepared a crate of aromatic meat, said to be irresistible to giant crabs. For the purpose of this exercise, imagine the shell-covered creatures lured by its scent to be enemy knights, and form tactics to prevent their advance. Should the box be broken open, that will signal your defeat. Let's see what strategies you can devise for us, eh, Chris? Alright, let's go then. Like, if I had, like, a sunbathing emote, this would be perfect for when it's daytime here in Costa del Sol. We have a box. We go protect the box. And there be crabs. I can't start my turret game if the turret is not filled to at least halfway. Ha! We've stirred up half the bloody shoreline. No, great. Whew. At ease, Machinists. Let's call it today. Yeah, let's just What was this for? Wait, what is that thing? Let's call it Scent of Blood. Reload, take it down, mates. Right, yep, this is where you disqualify. There we go. We did it! Easy. That last fellow was rather unexpected, but you handled him nonetheless. Well done! Your performance was prompted by my prospectometer, and inspired me with entirely new strategies. If I may, me lordship, seeing how our quiz is coming along, maybe you don't need me in the tourney no more. Whatever you could make you think that, my dear. I need you now more than ever. The sight of you, a commoner with scant battle experience, sending seas and knights stumbling and sprawling, will open the eyes of the Holy See. Why, you shall be the bullet that pierces their tradition-bound hearts. Very well, me lordship. I'll do me best in the name of House Hallionat, for both you and the Count. That's the spirit. Now, I must return to the workshop. Off they go back to Ishgard. Grab and go. That's the name of a fate. Interesting. Anyway, might as well just hang around Costa del Sol for a hot second. Just to, where are the dancers? Where are any dancers? Because like seriously, I look in line to being like associated with them or something, you know. I can't see any. Damn it. I can't compare my outfit to dancer outfits if I can't find any dancers. Shite. Or maybe, you know, maybe I'll go into a dancer and change the gear to look more like this. It would be funny at least. At least with dancer it'd be like, oh, okay, trying to have entice people before they even see a singular dance maneuver. Right, anyways, let's go back to Ishgard, shall we? And we'll stand here for a moment while I go and blow my nose real quick, because for some reason apparently I need that to occur. Curse me, nose. I know why my nose has acted up this way. Because there's actually a bit of a stronger wind today. Ugh. Thing. There's actually is a bit of a stronger wind today. That is playing a role in things. So, you know, that's neat. So it's probably making me as the standard. Oh, there's a little bit more of a... So it might be moving pollen around a bit more and struggling like some form of hay fever. Well, minor amount of hay fever. Which is a little annoying, I must admit. Or maybe I'm just somehow having a resonance with this attire and currently getting chills from it. Fine showing out there, Chris. Joy's lack of enthusiasm troubles me somewhat, but I'm sure the moment her hand closes around her stock, she'll be as ferocious as ever. And then Rage against the Machinists will be at level 50. So we've now got to get a level from Desimel and 3 levels from Orenvale. A level plus from that. Oh god, if there's even more. There's even more sort of stuff we can end up getting. That's all this. Maybe there is a shoe item. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, I didn't start the portrait because the portrait currently looks like this. So, nevertheless, I do actually need to use Clean Shot and Hot Shot while fighting ads just to build up my battery gauge for the purposes of using the turret when we get into the boss fights. So you know, that's on me a little. So actually I should probably just double check that I'm doing wildfire correctly. Covers target by a slow burning pitch, action is changed to down over duration effect, deals damage when time expires or upon executing it. Potency is increased by 100 for each of your own weapon skills you land prior to the end of the effect. Can be stacked up 6 times. Oh, okay. So in reality it's just any weapon skill. And its potency is dependent on how much I've done. So that's in terms of weapon skills. Okay, within, of course, stacking to 6 in total. Honestly, fair enough on the philosophy used there, actually. The recast timing, though, makes it so it's like you're not using it too often. And boss fights take a good couple minutes, so regularly, so it's more just using the skills in the correct manner. Do 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 do. That I'm at 100 on both gauges. Do I bother going into the Chocobo stable and just seeing what gear I end up getting from it? I know what, let's do that. Let's see, maybe we'll get something that helps me replace what I'm wearing. I don't know, there won't be, but... We got Colosseum Shul, which is the disciple of magic gear. So if we see what that looks like, yeah, it's rather similar, just it has a hood on it. Well, again, I'm just going to... The Colosseum Shul probably it's quite obvious what the female one looks like for that. But this one, like, I'm just going to assume that the default, like, small clothes would be visible. Because otherwise I'm just questioning what Square were thinking. Like, oh. Damn it, stupid, sexy, original character. I have no jokes to say on that front, like... Because if I paint myself as a pervert, or I paint myself as someone who wants to fuck myself. So, still a pervert, but a crazy one in that character. Like, There's just nothing but holes for me to dig in this case. Oh, that is based on the fact that we need 214,000 experience at level 46, I'm going to argue that this is going to be a case of we do all of it. Ooh, pardon me. Yeah, we're gonna be hitting level 47 by being the final boss, I think. That's a loincloth with magic gear? Huh. That actually doesn't look too bad comparatively. Doesn't look too bad. That is certainly something then. But it doesn't mean, and by that it doesn't look as much of a loincloth to me as it something. I'm sure the AI NPCs will be fine fighting by next on their own. Right, here's hoping I get back in time because I'm in need of the toilet. I'll be back in a minute. I'm back. Right, okay. 5 minutes elapsed since the last activity for 10 minutes. Okay, good. We're in the neck of time, we are. Whew. Right, okay. Right, let's carry on getting through this area. Ooh. Still bugging quite a bit. I do think I'm possibly not eating things when my stomach thinks I should be eating, possibly. I feel like that's what's happening. Oh, I'm not pulling a trigger. That's my assumption, because the fact that it's multiple days in a row where it's like I'm still eating squared meals, but it must be because of my lopsided. Ooh, Harlequin's cap. Sentinel trousers. That's added to inventory. I've got too many trousers. I'm choosing to wear none. Oh boy. Okay. When it comes to fun fact, something fun. I'm trying to think of something. I'll be honest, the few stuff I have installed on my phone, I solely only use when I'm on the toilet. Just because I know that there are times when I'll end up being on the toilet for like a good half an hour. Not because I want to be. Thankfully I was only on it for like 5 minutes, which is not so bad. That actually is really good. I do think it's interesting to see just how there's definite ways that Machinist feels like it should work as a class, and yet I don't see people go on about it much. Obviously there's probably valid reasons as to why, but obviously the main reason is because if you think of range CPS, you're thinking Bard or Dancer as your preferred ones to see. Yay, I need to find the final one to actually get through. Oh, I'm getting so much gear that I'm not going to be using. Okay, well, this means things are just going to end up in the inventory, and I'll have to clean up my before I get through everything. I'll have to sort that out. That's fine. I'll sort things out. Because at the end of the day, at least it's going into the inventory. So, you know, there's at least that element of like, hey, it's stuff I have. Maybe at some point I will level up a tank that has to go through this sort of stuff. Or I think what I might just end up doing is I'll only focus on whichever class I happen to want to play for the purposes of the expansion. So like for Heavenwards, I'm playing Machinist. Wherever I switch to something else for Stormblood, or in Shadowbringers, or even Endwalker, and even Dawn Trail. No clue on that matter as a whole, but it would mean I would have to level up to an extent, so they all seriously chose to stand in the attack, like right by the final boss room, so I'm using a spike shot for this bit. I love when I suddenly take a shift in how I'm feeling. Oh well. You know what I'm doing? I'm drinking. Right, we deal with this fucker once more, then we can go into Ormfail for a couple of ones. The fact that I probably will be doing at least 2. And then I'll have to farm Ormfail for gear-wise. Right, so there's no point me activating Wildfire immediately because it'll do the invulnerabilities first and foremost, so we'll have to shoot crystals. Now that we know that that's a thing for sure. Corrupted crystal number 1. I'm just going to put myself over here for pretty much the remainder of the fight. Oh, yep. There we go. That's the same corrupted crystal. Or was that the third one? There we go, this is the third one, so that means after that we can start using our DPS things a little bit more. Go. We got a Buccaneer's Somersault, but it's not classed as bad. Do we get gun? No, we got Spear. Darn. Oh wait, I won't know if it will be classed as bad or not. It's gone into my inventory because several of these are fully done. Right, I'll just discard this menu if we want to turn it quick then. Yeah, Hampen hat. Get rid of that, get rid of that.
Fire Sensibles and Silver Spectacles are quite similar, so I'm just going to do that one. Oh wait, yeah, I'm going to go to the houses. Right, so then in my infantry, like placing down the chest, a woman, card. Would that have been better? Apparently it would be. But in what way would it be better? Ooh, it actually is slightly better in strength, dexterity, and vitality. It's just it has critical hit instead. Oh, I feel like in a way this outfit's a little bit better just because it synchronizes with this stuff. I actually have to check. I actually want to check. Dungeons. When we're born, I want to check. Why is there multiple gear sets in Desmo? Oh. Oh. Okay. There are some achievements actually. Where would these achievements be actually? Like, just like a pirate day. It's in items. Ah. So these ones here. My body is a temple, just like a pirate day, yeah. And a mummer in monthly. Tricone, shirt, and boots. Do I have those items? Equipped. Tricone, boots, and a shirt. Speak to Jonathus with all 3 items equipped. Oh, he's the Master of the Rolls person. Oh, well, while we've got this gear, we'll teleport to Gdalia and get an achievement. I need a class that can equip the other ones if I've got all of the white bits, which I don't think I do. So we'll keep that in mind. We'll do that real quick. Just a quick, I've got an achievement to grab. That's neat. Amphitheater. I don't need like crystal plays around in here, just so that I can prove my point as to like we won't get harassed while we're here, kind of thing. I feel like that's more like specifically a more Donor and older affair, really. So, I don't think we've really talked to this guy, but there is a person here who has a bunch of stuff to them. Accomplished enough feats to keep Bard singing for a lifetime. Such shouldn't go unrecognized to the end. I'd like to have this. Consider a token of my highest esteem. And we got dressed like a pirate day, which gave us 20 achievement certificates. Ooh. Inside here we can get some armor, no weapons, no accessories, and all of these sorts of things. So this includes some minions, as well as some stuff for our Chocobo, a Behemoth Warhorn, and Magic Deathclaw, and some orchestration rolls. Well, let's use this and get some mounts. And why not? Let's get some of these things for our Chocobo. And then, oh, we've got 2 left over. No, let's leave the 2 we've got left over for now. Oh, that's going to look weird. I'm just going to go back to wearing this. Teleport back over to Ishgard. Use the items that we've just put in our inventory, and then... Right. Inventory, so we've got this Deathclaw, this Behemoth Warhorn, there's Flyer Chevron, and there's Black Mage Barding. So some of that's mount, you know, that's great. We've got a selection of stuff. Let's set to the hotbar over the Unicorn, the random mount roulette button. That way we could have any of these crop up. That'd be good. And in terms of our companion, the fact we now have something else for them to wear includes the Black Mage Barding as a whole, but also Flyer Chevron. So, you know, that'll be neat to see when we're in an area that makes sense. So that is actually better, but it just looks off doing that. Right, let us... Duty support... All in fail time! Oh boy. No, I forgot to change my portrait again. So yeah, no, that's neat that we were able to get that stuff. Where's the Faces Prepare stuff again? Oh right, yeah, Faces Prepare is the it's so that you can have glasses instead of other things. While I'm here, I might as well just double check all and fail dungeon wise. All and fail, all and fail, all and fail. All and fail! Right, yeah, that's what I have, and then there's various items we can get. Throughout that of ore and gear. And hopefully weapon wise we end up with Bloody Murder, which is our Machinist weapon. Okay, so this is obviously a dungeon that people hated for a long time because noobs would just be like, yeah, let's just aggro the entire first room. Like this Nyx you have to aggro, I think those elf fruits you also just end up aggroing by proxy of proximity. But I think we don't have to go running through the entire room. We can just make a beeline more towards the boss. The boss is just over there. But I don't see any chests in this bit, so I do ponder if we can evade having to deal with the next bit. Apparently a bunch of the... Oh crap. Never mind what my intentions were. Apparently the game just decided that no, all these mobs are now aggroed. That's great. So there is probably a way to get around fighting a lot of these mobs, but I don't know where it is fully. Maybe it's Hug a specific part of the rule, maybe not, I don't know. Also, then again, it's an AI tank, so they'll do the pull about their meta pull, and then if the conditions are met for them to start pulling some other things, then oh, pardon me. Anyways, the first boss in this place is called Locksmith. And this actually does help introduce a mechanic that we'll have to deal with in another fight later on, involving Marble Fruit. It's giving us the status Gold Lung. We don't have to eat fruit immediately, but it is in our best interests to do so. Yeah, AI is something. It's a shame that the automatic does actually eat up the entire bar, so you can't do it twice in relatively quick succession. But I understand why you do build up to 100. It's so that you get the full amount of potency in terms of the attack. Right. Naval Zircon Wing. That gives vitality, intelligence, and a question mark. So it might be better than this weathered wing I've got. Ah, it's spell speed. I'm assuming... Do I have 2 of those then? Ethereal Peridot Wing. It's mind as well. Actually, some of these things probably would be better overall to have. Oh well, whatever. If the game says otherwise, then so be it. Welcome to the bit where we have to start dealing with mobile fruit. They have germinate. If they fully germinate, then another enemy will spawn that will actively be attacking. So best to just not let them spawn fully. But they have quite low health. It's just a case of level of coordination of just understanding that, yeah, best to get rid of them now rather than just let them stay. Oh, pardon me again, as per usual. I am very burpy. I don't get it, but thankfully the AI does try to get away from the bad breaths. I would be very upset if they didn't. All-in boots and a mobile seedling. Oh, that's like a magic gear, but a mobile seedling. Oh, look at it. We'll get it registered to our list of minions that we have. That's neat. There's another treasure coffer there. There's the next boss, but we just need to clear these fuckers out real quick. Ugh. 2 whole streams, eh? Where I'm technically not doing Heavenwards content for the most part. I mean, at least we're doing things in Foundation. But meanwhile, Dark Knight just running around different parts of Eorzea and all that, and Ash Origin continuously going back into Gridania. So we've been in Limsa like twice. That's Disciple of Magic. We're getting all the Disciple of Magic gear. Hooray! I'm loving getting all this Disciple of Magic gear. Like, if the heat blasts gave me battery, that'd be lovely, because then I could do the burst of the hypercharge. And then I'd be able to do the auto time. In relatively quick succession. Instead it's like, well, it just takes more time to build up meters. This is a very simple fight at the end of the day. It's just the enemy, while the tank is the one that it primarily targets with the AoEs that go in one direction and one direction. No, is the magic gear. I think I've got nothing but magic gear from this one. I mean, hey, on the bright side, if we ever need to have Disciple of Magic class leveled, then hey, you know. Although if I'm leveling a class that is back in Realm Reborn stuff, I think I might just do that off stream just so that I'm not just, hey guys, who's up for more streams of me playing Realm Reborn dungeons? No one? Alright, fair enough. You know? Oh god, we're just barely out of 48, off from 48. Oh god, we're gonna do this like 3 times then. I guess it makes sense that we're gonna need more XP over the course of leveling, just and all that, but like, I got a door ring from that chest. That was one of the worst chests ever, because what the fuck am I meant? It's a crafting material. I don't know what I'd craft with it, but you know, it's a poisoned peasant. So your average person these days, I would argue, is all poisoned by shite water supply. Well, that's a badly treated water supply. Welcome to Pearl Lake. Here's a shit ton of seedlings. Did we really need the aggro of both the gold finds game? Ah, crap. I need to start shooting the marble fruit. Just the game's like, no, let's have them aggroed as well. Man, it's a good thing a lot of these ads were actually quite low in terms of health overall wise for shooting purposes. Like, more red light still. The Lancer girl. Yeah, I love this. I bet you, if I picked to not bloody touch Machinist with a 10-foot pole, I would have gotten nothing but the guns. Continuously. At least when we're doing Heavenwards quests, we'll probably actually get weapons. I guess this would actually be a good reason as to why you'd maybe do a bit of grinding with like a different Disciple of War class or Disciple of Magic class. Because then you'd force it so that the boss would drop the weapon. Because you are guaranteed something that you actively are able to use. As a drop from the clearing the dungeon. So Burrow will cause status called Burrs. The AI actually goes straight for getting mobile fruits. Obviously the idea is to not have too many stacks. Like, one stack is fine, it's manageable, but when it's too many, then the healer starts not being able to heal everyone, and that then kind of sucks a bit. And at this point where the boss will try to punch a mobile through, we need to just deal with them ASAP. There we go. Oh, we're almost done with it. Hooray! This dungeon took about 15 minutes, but I think it's mainly just been some of the ads. Go. We got a pair of arm guards. Okay. And stilettos. Let's get some of these other bits. Actually, because it's just going to keep saying that, and I might as well, while I'm not having any other pieces, of a better looking gear. Oh, okay. It actually thinks that this wing is better. I'll play for the vitality, but then I'd want this, wouldn't I? Critical hit, plus vitality versus one of everything. Right. So this gear is looking a bit off, but we have the Menfina's earring anyway, so we do get a bit of XP when level 8 and below. So. That's probably another factor continuously, so all arm guards. Yep, they look like arm guards. Due to the spikes, it's not helping matters. This is outfit of all time, isn't it? Like, it just is. I should probably go to a repairer at some point. Where is a merchant and mender? Oh yeah, back in the room. What am I on? Back in Ethan there. Forgotten Knight. So some of this gear's a bit on the damage side, so might be worth me sorting that out. Whee. Alright, to repair my gear, please. There we go. Gear repaired. Let us. We're level 48. Rounded out near to halfway. I feel like we're going to be doing 2 more unfair ones. It just feels like that's going to be the case. Again, I didn't start the door or everything, so that's just gonna be how it is. I mean, it certainly is something. Certainly something. No, I don't know what else there is to say about Unfell. It's a decent dungeon, it's just, obviously it's earned a reputation from the days before duty support. So you had to go out of your way to have it unlocked and to actively go and do it. Yeah, so like those fell wasps, they go over there, but like the tank considers that close enough to actively aggro. Like, for fuck's sake, it's like all those enemies are now aggroed. And some of them are more distant than others, so it's like you can't even accurately be like, oh yeah, I'll just casually fight them. Oh, why that appeared? That just... Oh, it's their tag just came out in the note mark. I think that's why I do marks. So that means it's like, oh, I can mark it with like, oh, target to attack 1 kind of thing. And that's how I'd have to do it on console. Okay, that's good to know. I forget something so easily. Oh, we're gonna have to fight the boss anyway. One thing I want to check in the system settings. HUD layout? No, not HUD layout. Is it? It would be system config. Display. No. Graphics. No. Theme. Ah, yeah, theme. So apparently there's some new ones. Oh, there actually are. So we got the classic dark, light, and classic FF. But now there's clear blue, clear white, clear green, clear grey, clear pink. So this is a thing. Because clear grey looks a bit too much like the dark one, to be honest. The light one's quite nice looking still. White is just weird to see. So is green in a way. Clear blue is similar to classic in a way. So okay, so that's neat. I spotted something online about it and it's just like, huh. So we can apply it and then when we go into menus, I'm not seeing it in any menus. Or maybe it will sort itself out at some point and I'll be like, ah, what the fuck, why is it pink? Mistimed my order of buttons. Oh yeah, it's a dot, so I'm actively dying to it. Ah, I'm on 2, I'll go to... Trying to hit me with gold dust, are we? The nerve of the game. Cody's the better words, anyway. 2. But I'm only saying that because I'm a fed shell, so... Yeah, we're gonna be probably level 49 when we're done with this one through. Furial Tauline earrings. So they have Vitality and Mind, but they might be... No, wait, no, they'll be earrings, so they'll be Shire. Right. We're mobile exterminators. What was I going for? Oh wait, I know what reference I was thinking in my head. I'm thinking of Futurama. Ender's Game? We're owl exterminators. No, you're not. Because they're looking for a piece of dark matter that happens to be used as a D20 by some of the people at Planet Express. Bender's Game, aka when what happens when Bendo ends up getting into D&D. The obvious result happens. But it feels, honestly, the straight-to-DVD films, big score's great. Beats a Million Backs is alright. It definitely has some flaws to it. Bender's game, it feels like half of the plot is, hey, look at this crazy antics. Also, we kind of have this slight issue where dark matter kind of is not existing all that much at the moment. Might need to go and sort that out at some point. And then half of it just ends up parodying fantasy stuff like Lord of the Rings, and very much Lord of the Rings for a good chunk of the playtime. And then the fourth one, I forgot its name, but like, probably, definitely an improvement over the two in between, so like, which is neat, but at the same time also there's just points where I'm just like, I feel like the plot, it feels like they're just trying to come up with ways so that people don't talk to each other, so that they can't go, hang on a second, your goals and our goals actually do align very well. Why didn't we speak about this sooner? But I mean, as long as the reasoning's fair, it makes you go, fair enough. Futurama is such a good show. Such a good show. A type of show that I enjoyed so much, I destroyed a PS2 just by watching it over and over and over and over again. So maybe that's why I'm always been more of a Futurama fan over The Simpsons. Even though it's both made by Matt Groening, it's like I actively watched the original seasons way too much compared to like Simpsons, where it's like, oh yeah, I watched plenty of episodes. Who didn't? But it ended up being just not as like, oh, I watched it over and over again. It's now in my head at all times. And the great thing about using YouTube to watch playthroughs of the video game means I don't have to spend money on it. I can just watch other people foolishly spend too much money on it. Haha, suck it. Well, actually no, because that just means I don't have the game to play. That means I haven't played it. I'm actually surprised I never had the video game. Like, I've got the Simpsons. I had the Simpsons game both on console and handheld. But I'm less of a Simpsons fan. So it's like, huh. It'd be weirder if it's like, oh, you know which game I have? Family Guy. Because I don't like Family Guy. So it'd be weird if that was the one I had. Of all the various cartoons that had any amount of viewing on Fox. It would just be weird. Just straight up. I think what's better is obviously the... Wait, you don't like... The guy would definitely be a question and a half. I don't think the boss will give me 259,000 XP. Autumn Jacket is Disciple of War! Yay! Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, I put the thing back in the inventory so that it would stop showing up. You! Better trousers, get in here! We don't have to wear that gear anymore! Look! We look like we're actually someone trying to go into battle! Huzzah! And I love this hat we've got. I'm definitely going to put this in a glamour chest, the hat. And it's like every Machinist, it's long, like end game Machinist, or like even 160, just when you don't have much gear. I'll be like, you know what? This is the sort of gear I would be wearing. No one would believe that I'm now a pirate. Yarn yardies. No. Although trained by a pirate, so. You know. I'm happy that my gear now looks a little bit more sensible, but I'm probably going to glamour the gear because it's like, you know what, it's an outfit that I could wear. There's probably reasons as to why I don't want to look like I've decided to wear nothing at all. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. I've already made the stupid sexy joke, but you know, it was right there. It was low hanging, just like my balls. No. Note. My balls are not being discussed. I refuse to actually go into detail about that, and that would be weird. But if someone wants to know, then give me money? I don't... There's like no way to actually give me money with, but... anyway, to give me money, but, you know... I think, like, stuff like that is either... I am paying someone... Because I know there are people on OnlyFans that do that sort of thing, where it's like... Oh yeah, just give me money and I will give you permission to take a picture of your junk so I can weight your penis. And it's just like, wait, what? Why? Why is this a... Wait, lonely middle-aged adults who would do that sort of thing. Damn you, people. Damn you all. Being horny. Because it just... I guess that's a definite way to make it be like, I didn't get unsolicited dick pics. These were very much solicited, and I can say how much they're shite. But obviously, no, you can't say how much they're shite, because then that'll be like, someone's wallet will no longer be going to you, specifically. Damn it, that's the Dark Knight weapon! Oh shit! Oh, because they got bad breath, but the Conjurer decided to be out of line of sight? Thank goodness the AI can actually, like, revive them, but, like, holy shit, that could have gone worse. But yay, the Dark Knight weapon, woo! The game is just saying, hey, you should have played melee DPS. Or tank! And why am I the one with the aggro? Game! Ugh. I don't get some of the stuff when it comes to how people can use their body for money sometimes. I do get the, like, oh, there will be lonely bastards that will spend their money on anything sexual just so they can feel something. But, like, come on. Like, I don't see why you'd want people to... And then again... I hate this trailer for what I've gone into. I really do. I really am just like, maybe this is a thing I shouldn't have brought up. Well, we all make mistakes. We all make mistakes. Except mine was bigger. Just like my dick. See, that's the point. Like, it's just like, it's so easy to just go with, haha, penis. Even when it's like, it's not the most appropriate thing to be saying. But then again, it's 2:30 in the afternoon, so if there is randomly a child watching, go back to school, you lazy skiver. Do your learning. Actively be there for enough maths lessons so you don't end up like me. Actually, no, it's more English. But still. It bears repeating, but my downside to maths was more just I was not in enough to remain in the set I was in. I was set 2. And then I was struggling to stay in throughout quite a good chunk of year 9 and went down to set 3, and that's where I stayed for GCSE maths. Which was actually a detriment due to the fact that it meant that I did the higher paper, but I was only taught about half. So set 3 basically meant you had to get the first half of the papers for the non-calculator and the calculator. You had to get them perfect, basically. Which I didn't, clearly. Otherwise I wouldn't be, I wouldn't have had to have retaken it. But at least I only had to retake it once, do the foundation paper, and then ace that one pretty much. So it was a case of the foundation level maths, I knew like the back of my hand. The higher tier stuff, I didn't know anything because they didn't teach me it. So, you know, if you don't get taught half a paper, it kind of sucks. The pot helm's better. Oh, but I like the pirate hat. I mean, at least we're a cowboy, which means we get the ear thing, but like, no. Can this drop the gun? No, it goes for the fucking Dark Knight arm again. And we're about 100,000 dish off of things, so we gotta go back into Ormfell anyway. Damn, 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 damn. But hey, at least there's gear, which I already have. But hey, you know, at least there's gear I'm actively will put into a glamour chest. Like, as long as I've got the things. I'll need to check to see if I've got any glamour prisms. If I don't, I'll have to go into the market board. Which I might do for a mount or something, just to see what mounts there are currently on the market board. So I could be like, ha, this looks like a fun one, click. And so we're back in here once again, because I'm just barely off and I'm not gonna stop. Nothing's gonna stop me, nothing's gonna stop. Yeah. You know what, maybe it's worth just being like, spam, spread shot. It's not really doing much damage. See, if there was a way for me to attract the Nevernicks away from the other enemies, maybe I could get that one done and then not have to fight all of them. But you know, it's a little annoying actually. Because I've got range, but the Marauder will jump in, so it's like it kind of doesn't work out. Or maybe it will this time. Huh. Right, these really are the fails we're gonna have to fight regardless. Those fails wasps are gonna approach, there's nothing I can do about it. But sometimes I'll attract the other Lydias of the fails. Fuck! Might be that we only have to do up to coin counter. If that's the case, then I'll just leave the dungeon. Because I, for one, am done with fighting this stuff. We'll get level 50 gear. Because I'm around level 90 once we've done the level 50 quest, so I'll free up some infantry space before the level 50 quest. And by that, I mean I can glamour a bunch of stuff. Or just sell. Because I don't want to grind anything else, so... And you know what? Being a fan of Futurama and then just not watching any of like the Hulu stuff or like any of the like most of the reboot stuff after the TV movies, I haven't seen as much of. I think that might just be because of viewing habits have changed over time. They could be playing a role in that. No idea really. That's strength. We don't use strength. We use dexterity. I actually do want to Double check that is. Yeah, we use dexterity for damage. Yeah, so strength is actually useless. We want dex, vitality, and then neither of these. And then like things like crit, or hit, maybe determination. Direct hit rate is always nice. Tag power, skill speed is always useful because that just means we're attacking quicker. Get rid of the fruit, then get rid of the seeds. Apparently I had aggro. Naughty me. But I'm playing with the AI anyway, so... This chest is the mobile ceiling one, so I'll probably just skip it this time. Actually, we're going to get out of it. Orm leg guards. They are Disciple of War. I think that means we've got pretty much most of the Orm gear. Just not the trousers. Which is why it's like, if I still had this equipped, it's like... Do I just, like, need to make sure I'm not sweating or something? Like, what's going on there, you know? But, yeah, well, at least it fits with this all-in-fail gear that we've been getting, so, you know. Not too bad, really, in that sense. In a very quick amount of time, we've gone from doing the End of Run Reborn to grinding a Machinist up to 50 over the course of like 4-5-ish days. I'm actually being rather consistent for just playing stuff right now. That's weird. Maybe my health is actually starting to get for the better. Like, now that the concussion stuff is mostly done with, I'd argue at this point. But I'm not too sure. There are still days where I wake up and my head is just absolutely just wanting to split itself open, and I'm just like, so it's probably just more of a touch and go situation at the moment. The only people that need to care, obviously, are just the people that know me and are around me IRL, and most likely any doctors, just in case. Anything that matters in terms of why I haven't been doing as much stuff in the real world that I should be doing, because a bit hard to when your head is threatening to just not, be in a nice state continuously. I realise that I'm only using like the auto turret like at least like once per battle essentially. And Wildfire's cooldown is just too long. By the time it's able to be used again, I'm not going to be using it. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's a reason why Machinist isn't as seen as that useful. Because the things that give you more DPS, by the time you're able to use them again after a very quick burst, is just too. Either coin cowl will give us just enough XP, or we've got to go and kill the final boss again. It didn't. Woo! I'll try to see if we get the weapon out of this treasure cove, but then we'll. Nope, or in Cuirass. Okay, well, do we have any gear that's... Oh, we do actually have some gear of aiming. That's level 50. The gloves and 5 boots with book cutters. It's item level 100 gear. Oh, wait, item level 100. With that means we can get out of here. We can leave! We can leave the place! I actually need to check. Do I have any glamour prisms, or do they appear in like key items or something? Oh, I do actually have 282. Right, let's repair all our... No, not purchase weapons. Let's repair all our shit. Just to make sure. Let's go into the inn and put some of the gear that we want to have in our glamour chest in there. Because at least then that stuff will be in the glamour chest. Oh, we put a bunch of stuff in there. I mean, if I plan to level up a tank, I might even just like... If I ever plan to play a tank, I'm either leveling up one of the ones or playing Gunbreaker, so I mean... what I care about more is... Let's put the long stop Aquabus in here. Let's put some of the stuff that we're not going to really be using because it's level 50 gear that we have, or just other stuff like this one, the Buccaneers tricorn, we'll put in here. We'll put the Virgil eye patch in there as well. Nighthawk visor, that's neat. Apparently I have them, but they have white axes because obviously I do have the Daystar stuff, but like I have hidden gear that's going to be better than that stuff, so I'll put them in there just for those purposes. Anyway, oh, I actually do have the set for them. Huh, I'll store them as a outfit one. Same with this? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I might as well. Do I have all the bits? No, I don't have the head. Oh well. Anything else that I want to just put in there that I've got in here? You know what, the Makote M set, might as well put that in there so it's not taking up space. Do I have anything in here that would be... Oh yeah, the cleric bits apparently. Okay, right. I'm wearing what the game says is the best. This is our portrait. But while I'm here, I might as well edit a glamour plate. So this pieces of gear. Then, well, we have Makote long boots. Makote gauntlets. Yeah. And then the weapon would dictate the class, so it's like, oh, Machinist, but like also at the same time, like, so yeah, this is just an outfit now that we have. And there's a thing about using glamour plates, but like, yeah. Glamour's going to use one Loyalty or Sanctuary. We're not really going to actually care too much about it. It's just if I ever want to wear that as an outfit, we've got it. It's there. So, right, with that, we are now level 50, which means the level 50 thing. We also now have 2 mobile seedlings in our inventory. Woo, yay. Anyway, right. My armory chest is somewhat full still. That's the only issue with all of this, is that I do need to sort it out. Either I gotta sell shit, or I've got to just store in a glamour chest, or store in my inventory proper. Basically, there's options that we just have to come up with. The day of the tourney is finally upon us. This is it, Chris. This is Machinist's moment of truth. Pray gather our colleagues together. Joy should be just outside performing some last moment firearm inspections, and Rosnival, well, Joy may have a better idea of his whereabouts than I. Alright then, let's go speak with Joy. Oh, Joy! Joy, where are you? Ah, there you are. Oh, Chris, this is a disaster. Someone's broken into our storage crates and smashed all the firearms. Oh, darn it. I must tell his lordship. No, must check the other crates first. Or maybe, what do we do? You do one, I do the other. Aye, you're right. Of course, giving in to panic won't help us none. I'll see what's become of the rest of the weapons. Then report me findings to his lordship. Do you know where Wasn't is, by the way? Wasn't all. Last I saw, he was getting some fresh air out behind the workshop. Oh, okay, that's useful. We know that there's the bit behind. Looks to be upwards a little bit, but there he is. Wasn't this fool? Don't look now, lad, but I think we've got visitors again. Stubborn bastards. Oh, wow. Hey, smash up for firearms, you say? Seems to have a scrag it is, as once it's gone is done with being subtle. Best warn the rest of these thugs before they decide to set fire to the place. You know what to do. Warning, slug shots only so we don't bring the wrath of the Temple Knights down upon us. Meet you back in the workshop when you're done with your patrol. Yep, okay. Right, we'll go do that then, I guess. Oi, there's a shifty-eyed loiterer here. We better just... No, please no! 'Twasn't my idea! Well. Oh, we don't actually have the skill yet, which is Ricochet. Great, I'm gonna have on my screen at times one of the most annoying people ever. Pardon me. Oh no, you see, it's my character that I'm an annoying asshole on Twitter. So, you know, that's why I'm... That's what my gimmick is that I'm just an annoying asshole. You were being an annoying asshole before that became your gimmick. This is just your excuse to carry on being a shithead on Twitter. And that sums up Ricochet and AEW. Well, we did it. We warned those people off. Hey. I think Twitter was a mistake at the end of the day. It just allowed people to be much more open about their in terms of just annoying me and all people and all that. Chris, are you quite alright? I find the strategy here tells me you've both been busy chasing off hired miscreants again. I'm afraid the damage has already been done, my lordship. Even after scraping together our spares, we're less than half the weapons we need for the tourney. Now we'll just have to do. It'll be difficult, I know, but I believe we still have a chance. What in the bloody hells was that? Sounds like someone fired a damn cannon or something. Well, I guess it's time for us to figure out what the fuck's going on. Oh, me lordship! Our turrets! Blast! We must have missed one of the shiting bastards. That's it then. We'll have to forfeit the contest. Oh no! Quick, let's sing a song about how we'll still somehow overcome the odds. Nay, my dear. There is yet time to remedy this. These efforts to confound our chances serve but to stoke the fires of my determination. Pray accompany me back inside, Cress. Alright. Worst of all, Joy, lead your fellow Machinists to the tourney field and don your masks of supreme confidence. Whilst our mysterious enemy is distracted by your show of bravado, I shall work to replace the damaged firearms. But how can you craft so many weapons before the contest begins? The short of it is, I cannot. No, well, easy's being honest. Not to my usual exacting specifications, of course. Only the four of us must be aware of the poor quality of our replacements. You and Joy must needs fight that much harder to compensate for your colleagues' lack of firepower. Crap. That's one of our people. I'll do my best to keep the others in high spirit too, Lord Stefanonius. Me apologies, I wasn't trying to eavesdrop on nothing, but when I heard the noise... Ah, so the shucks. Well, there's no for it now. Welcome to the conspiracy. Formidable foes, eager chance of success. This shall be a victory worthy of song. Someone get a bard. And maybe also a dancer. Anyway, that then allows us to hand in the quest, so... Would that the odds were not so heavily stacked against us, but we cannot let a few setbacks stand in the way of our moment of glory. Yep. And then we get the actual last quest, for now, the Power of Attorney, where we get item level 90 Junior Machinist armor. We've got item level 100 gear, oops, and Ricochet, the level 50 skill. We've done all that can be done. It's time we join our companions and survey the field on which the tourney is to take place. You are familiar with Camp Dragonhead, I trust. Its grounds should make an interesting arena. That's one thing that definitely is the case with the Heavenwards classes, is for the first 20 levels, for the most part you're just doing why am I walking to the Aetherway? I might as well just teleport because it's Camp Dragonhead. That it's done in Realm Reborn areas. It's so that you don't have to be like, oh, well, I would level it up, but Dark Knight level 40 quest requires me getting to the fucking end of Heavensward, near to the end of Heavensward area. Because then at that point you're just like, well, fuck, I guess I'll go do something else then. It's the only thing that you can and will do then. It just would be bad. Good, you've come. The other houses are yet to fill their forces, meaning we have time to inspect the arena and formulate a winning strategy. Are you certain of your preparations, my son? These tales I hear of hired thugs terrorizing mechanists and destroying equipment do not fill me with confidence. Pray remember that the collected gaze of Ishgard shall be focused on this contest. A poor showing will cost us our funding from the Holy See and cast an uncertain shadow over the future of the manufactory. I have never been more ready, father. Now, relinquish your doubts, find yourself a nice vantage point, and enjoy the spectacle. I'm off to find a perch myself, but here's one piece of advice before I go. Make the most of the terrain. There's a few choice spots where I'd lay an ambush, or expect me enemies to lay one for me. Just be sure you've given the place a good once-over, eh? Alright, well, yeah, I guess we should probably do that. Heard the instructor, give the word, and we shall endeavour to learn the lay of the land. Well, I know some of the areas around here, considering all that we've had to do in Corvus so far. Let's roll our strategy, shall we? Unless you would rather simply begin the tourney, in which case you may speak with our Machinist messenger. Yeah, let's proceed into the final thing that we need to do for now. There's probably more actually, but... Ours will be a combined force with House Halanat and House Forteps, while our opponents will be of House Desmel and Duoderi. Black Standard represents our encampment. Pray inspect the standard and the surrounding area. Oh. If we allow the standard to be destroyed, we are defeated and the tourney is lost. Okay, well. Standard also releases waves of curative magic, so return here if you're in need of healing. Let us move to the enemy encampment. Pray inspect the Crimson Standard and survey the surrounding area. Would it be too much to ask whether Waterfront's involved, since we've got 4 temps on our side, apparently? But yep, this is the Crimson Standard. This is where the other houses houses that we are fighting will have. Should we succeed in toppling the Crimson Standard, then victory is ours. Kick. The enemy standard will kill nearby allies, best to avoid lengthy engagements in its proximity. Indeed. Let's discuss our individual roles. Yes, let's. Joy will lead a squad of Halanat combatants in an offensive push. There. The remaining Machinists and I will join the 4 temps in defense of our encampment. Good. You, Chris, shall be our flying company and strike when needed. Yep, that makes sense. So we have to do more. Cedric, you shall be our ambusher. Let us survey your place of concealment. AKA, we've got somewhere to hide the man. So they'll be like, haha, they can't break through. Wait, one did. How did that happen? Pray inspect the ambush site. Well, we've got the ambush site. I mean, surely they'll have someone here covering this corner. Like, come on, it's a bit of a blind spot. So the Strix will emerge and assault the enemy standard on Chris's signal. Okay, so I'll have to give the signal for that then. The Duoderi captain is an aggressive sort. If our defences appear weak, he will commit his forces to attack. And that will leave their encampment vulnerable to ambush. We have placed a signal mortar near the Aetherwite. Ooh. Go with me and you can see it for yourself. Oh, wait, yeah, that's way around. Whee. I should probably follow him. Get more efficiently. Fucking levitating, floating onto the thing. And yep, there is a signal mortar. This is eating into our timer of this duty, but it probably should take us half an hour to do anyway, so... The mortar should be safe here from enemy detection, and the spot also affords you a fine view of both camps. Yeah. When you judge it time to press the attack, simply operate the mortar to send up a flare. Let's return to our encampment. I'll stall the efficient until you give the word. Well... I don't see what else there is to do at this point. I was a messenger, but... Oh well. Hark! 'Tis Talladrench and his knights. Ah, the manufacturing workers in all their glory. I imagine there are many who are curious, even eager, to witness you fight this day. Unfortunately for the spectators, however, House Desimel will end this mockery of a contest all too swiftly. Bluster all you will, we shall let the tattered remains of your standard speak for us. Such a conviction from the King of Commoners. Come then, all the players are present, let the tourney begin. Alright, over to your side then, you cheeky buggers. To victory, my friends! Yeah, we'll do that then. I'm to be... Made it a little bit too quick over here. Although, to be fair, our plan is for me to head up here, signal the mortar, and for that to occur, so... Should just be just... A flanking maneuver, is it? Pathetic. Well, it's doing its job, because we are... Oh, the Doomsday Captain's still here, the enemy will slaughter me. Shit. Yes, I need more practice. Ah, crap. My god. So I mucked up. Healers? Where? Oh, am I not where I'm meant to be right now? I've mistimed the thing, but apparently they have healers. They're healing themselves, so... This is meant to be then when I go and do that thing, so they have archers. Oh, one of the other archers are fighting. Okay. This is not going the way it should. Oh well. There's not many over here. I'm gonna now... I don't think I can signal the mortar again, sadly. Yeah, no, I can't, so... Let's go help Joy deal with the Crimson Standard. Because it looks like we're starting to actually get ahead again, so that's good. I mistimed the other thing, so this is on me. But it looks like we're about to win anyway, so even with that missed timing earlier, we've done a good job. Yay, we did it! Oh, okay, that wasn't too bad. Whew. But we did it! It's starting to get a bit stuffy in here, so this is good that we got it done. Oh. Congratulations, Machinists. You have proven yourselves not entirely without merit. House Desimir will gladly welcome your inclusion in House Hallionart's next company of reinforcements. Your novel toys confounded my knights, and you won this game of flags, I would say. However, how you fare against adversaries who seek not to break your standard, but to spill your life's blood. May the days who come when we fight side by side. He's an obnoxious twat, but at least he's not going to hound us continuously now, so that's a benefit. Mayhap then you shall understand why the knight is the master of the battlefield. Because we're in a fantasy world and swords need to still be relevant. Well done, my son. You have triumphed against all that would see you fail. But of course, father, there is no difficulty that Machinistry cannot overcome. Ooh, pardon me. A tourney victory? How many years has it been? At last do we begin to reclaim the influence we have lost. And there shall be more to come. As long as you are true to your word, that means no more bemoaning my knightly skills, no more disruptive visits to the workshop. Stevenson, I hereby relinquish you manufacturing. May your machinists be the spears that pierce our foes, and the shields that defend our wounds. Do as you will, my son, for the glory of Ishgard and her people. Hooray, we did our jobs really well. Woo, yippee, yow. The age of Machinist has begun, my friends. Follow me, and together we shall wing the rusted Heavenwards. Now, let's not jump too far ahead on all that, because, you know, traditionalists aren't just going to suddenly just be like, yeah, sure, we'll just lie down and get stepped all over. It just never isn't. Oh yeah, because we're outside. Look at our chocobo wearing the stuff we got from the achievement. Master of Rolls person. Look at it. Look at it. So adorable. So yeah, back to Ishgard. We hand in the quest, we get the skill, we get the item coffer, armor coffer, we'll take a look at the outfit, and then that will be it, I think. There is another level 50 quest we'll get, because we'll be able to now start being in the Heavenwards quests. Because it will start at 50, and then we'll go accordingly with the levels as we go through. Actually, that's a good point. I could probably actually check online, actually. Level 50, and then it's every 2 levels to 60, and then for the 60 quests it goes through like 63, 65, 68, and then after the level 70 cap, there isn't. There's like a quest at A, but Shadowbringers onwards, there's the role quests, which do the whole like, oh hey, it's the stuff there. The various specs to do. Just a hard-won battle quest, but your keen grasp of tactics carried the day, and that's to say naught of your ever-growing skill with a firearm. With this victory, I am become manufactory chief in both name and deed, and I intend to make the most of my newfound freedom. Indeed, my first act upon returning to the workshop was to improve upon the A4O transformer. Latest model is yours, with my thanks. Turning exposed certain inaccuracies in the design for which I have endeavoured to compensate. Use it well quest. Yay! So I'll have to go into the, I'm going to have to go into my character screen to actually be able to sort out looking at all the gear properly, because we've got like level 100 gear, so it's just going to be a bit like a kind of thing, but, you know. I'm a machinist, not a man. You get a title out of it, or something? So yeah, obviously we don't have to quit, we don't have to the items in inventory yet. But they are pieces of aiming, so it's this hat, plus this tabard. It's item level 90, so our item level 100 gear will be better, naturally, that we have, but for this exact moment, this is the Machinist level 90 gear. 2 pieces of which we won't be wearing. So you know, looks really good actually. And there is a joyless celebration. Oh no. What's going wrong immediately, fuckers? With our tourney victory, we have indelibly etched in Machinist presence in the minds of the Holy See. And now that my father has relinquished the running of the manufactory to me, it would seem our fortunes have at last taken a turn for the better. And disaster in 3. Father has also formally responded to Lord Talagrinch, promising our support in House Desamel's next sortie. I'm not yet privy to the details of the operation, but I imagine the ball Talagrinch will choose for us shall be both demanding and dangerous. In his attempt to humiliate the Machinist, however, he will only provide us with another stage on which to prove our worth. A victory in the field will garner us great support from the Holy See, and allow me to appropriation funds towards the development of even more potent weapons. Thus, 'tis vitally important that we see this operation succeed, but an equally important matter must be addressed here we delve too deeply into such concerns. Our celebration of our tourney triumphed. We must have Joy and Robinhood join us for the festivities. But I believe Joy services are yet required at the manor. Pray seek out our Master of Marksmanship first, if you would. Alright, well, we'll go and speak with Robinhood next time, because we'll do that before we nip on over to Alphinaud and Tataru and all that and actually start doing Heavenwards. So, you know, in fact, we can head out here. Just a little bit of that. Once all's there. So next time, that's our objective. There's also taking in the sights and actually exploring Ishgard more proper than just the bits I have ran through already, just doing things. And we're actually get a proper start on Heavenwards, so there'll be no more question mark. It'll be, this is Heavenwards, we're now in Ishgard proper, unless the main story requires us going out of Ishgard, we'll remain in Ishgard, and all that. So yeah, I am enjoying my time as per usual. So if you like what you see, you can always check out all the stuff on my channel, and if you like enough of it, you can always subscribe. So until next time, I'll see you all. Bye bye.